The food in America is poison. If you've lived here your entire life, you really don't know what it means to eat clean, because even the healthy food in America is gross. It's poison. It's filled with chemicals. I swear, if you've lived outside the United States and then you came here, or you immigrated here, you moved here, I think it's like college. That first year you gain a freshman to 15. I think when you come to America, it's the same thing. Like that first year you're in America, you're gonna gain 15 pounds, at minimum 15 pounds. Just because everything here is filled with stuff. You know, everything here is filled with sugar. Moving to Ohio from the Mediterranean, the food here is so different. And yeah, as an American, of course, there's food here that I love, right? I mean, I love fried chicken. I love American Mexican food, and by God, I love American Chinese food. It's great, and it just, you feel it right on your waistline as soon as you start eating it. But there's something about our food here where it's just, we gotta put sugar in everything, especially in the Midwest. You wanna go get Italian, be prepared for your spaghetti sauce be made with sugar. You want nice savory soup because it's cold, guess what? Filled with sugar. Your bread, filled with sugar. Everything's filled with sugar. I understand that because we are a corn country, that we have corn syrup that we put in everything. But by God, I feel like I've only been back for what, 5 or 6 months now, and I put on like 20 pounds. Have I put on 20 pounds? No. But I've definitely lost muscle that I had and have put fat on. And yes, a lot of that is because my job is fairly sedentary, but at the same time, there's no getting away from it. In America, you have to work hard not to get fat. That's not something you have to do anywhere else in the world. If anything, you have to work hard to get fat in other countries. But here, it's a struggle not to get fat. Because, I mean, even if you're broke, even if you're only eating the foods that you can afford on a poverty wage, you're still gonna be gaining weight. I mean, one bite of anything seems to be like 200-300 calories. You want a meal? You go out to a restaurant. When we go out to a restaurant, we order one thing and we split it, just because the portions are so big. It doesn't really matter what restaurant you go to. The portions here are family size. And what's crazy is many Americans, they eat out all the time. And before I got married, I've dated enough Americans to know that most American women can't even cook. We're all addicted to Amazon. We're addicted to DoorDash. We're addicted to Grubhub, Uber Eats. Consumerism has bred out the ability for people to cook. So all they do is eat food out. But the thing is, you're only supposed to eat out in America like once a week, a couple times a month, because the calories are packed in there and the serving sizes are huge. No wonder Americans are so obese. You know, UK, a lot of fatties. Australia, a lot of fatties. I mean, it's becoming a more common thing throughout the world, and that's because the food's getting more processed. But America specifically, man, is it easy. It's so easy. Even our drinks, you want to go get coffee? Because no one drinks regular coffee. You're going to put about 200-300 calories worth of some kind of flavoring inside of it. And yes, I am guilty of this too. Coming back to the States has ruined my diet. You're like, well, it just takes discipline. Yeah, you're right, but you know, and yeah, maybe I do need to be more disciplined. But like I said, it's so much easier just to stay not even fit, not trim, but just normal, average, healthy weight in any other country, it feels like. Once you're out of the West, it's easy to not gain weight. I'm not talking about losing weight. I'm just talking about not gaining weight. And yes, of course, it's not just the food. Our work culture makes us fat. The fact that we spend most of our days on our butt, sitting down, looking at a computer, you know, dealing with files, typing stuff up, yelling at kids, you know, it makes it so you don't burn any calories. When you do that for 8, 9, 10 hours a day, you get home, you're too exhausted to go to the gym. Like I said, it's hard to fight that off. It's just the entire American culture, life in America now is just built for you to become one of the big boys from Wall-E, you know? Like eventually I'm just gonna need a chair that I can be pushed around in. Because I'm saying every time I walk into Walmart now, and I do love Walmart, I look at those electronic, like disabled people chairs, and I wanna take that thing. I wanna take it for a joyride, I really do. And I have to ask myself, you know, what has happened to me? Nothing has really changed in my life that much other than I'm here now. Even though we try to eat the same foods we ate when we lived abroad, it's just, we're both gaining weight. And listen, the wife, she's pregnant, that's her excuse. We'll allow it, right? And I understand there's something when it comes to sympathy weight that husbands get as their wives, you know, progress with that condition. I'm just kidding, I love my wife. But yeah, no, it's a thing. We feel like we don't eat that much. We feel like we still eat very Mediterranean, but it's the ingredients here. They don't feel as clean, like they make you sick. Like we try not to even eat out. We just like to make our food here just to avoid feeling sick. If your digestive system like hasn't adapted to American food, the food here is going to make you sick. And we're trying really hard not to have our digestive systems adapt to this kind of diet. Because, we're not people who are 18, 19, 20. We're not just going to wake up and lose 5 pounds because we chose to diet last week. Like, you get older, your metabolism slows down, life happens, you got to work, and it's easy to just put on the pounds, put on the kilos. And I guess that comes to the next thing. Just, you're not going to walk anymore, right? Like the most exercise that I get on a day where I'm working 10 to 11 hours a day is me walking from my car to my office building. And that's not particular to me. There's a lot of people. I mean, if you're blue collar, yeah, you're definitely getting exercise. But if you're white collar, man, that work life is just designed to keep you unhealthy, designed to keep you sick, designed to keep you weak, and most importantly, designed to keep you soft and just in line, because it is a struggle. I mean, I'd rather be poor and be healthy than well off and be fat and unhealthy. And I think that a lot of people as they get older would kind of agree with saying the same thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm saying I compare this lifestyle, this very average work-life schedule that I have now compared to how most people live around the world. Even if you live in a city. When we lived in Europe, we were walking 5 to 10 miles a day. That's a lot. And that's just your normal routine going about doing things. And if you ate out, guess what? It really wasn't a big deal because you're burning off the calories. And plus the ingredients that they use in the restaurants there are usually kind of local. They're not flown all over the world here and there and then finally land on your plate. Covered in corn syrup and doused in preservatives and fed to you. Who knows what kind of untold damage that does to you over the years, but we know it ain't good. America's food is poison and it's filled with chemicals, and that's one of the reasons why we have a population that's allergic to everything. Ask my wife, when she first moved here, and be like, she didn't even know what a peanut allergy was. She didn't know what a shellfish allergy was. She just assumed that that's just something that American people made up because they were mentally ill. And honestly, she might have a point, because there's no way that 10-20% of the country is allergic to gluten, peanuts, shellfish, happiness, books. I mean, there's no way, right? It seems to not be real, but it has to come from what's in our food. I'm a big believer of that. And we all know, was it glyphosate and all the chemicals that they use as pesticides, and all the GMOs that fill up our plates when we go to eat dinner at night. We know that this does damage to us, but still we consume. We don't push regulation. There's no protest about that. If there is, it's just those people are called crazy conspiracy theorists, but it ain't even a conspiracy. Everyone knows that the food in America is just filled with the most unhealthy stuff. That's why some food products in America aren't even legal in other countries. Take one big one, for example, a food near and dear to every American's heart that's heartbreaking to find out the rest of the world is missing out on. That's bacon. Bacon only exists in America. American bacon. American bacon's very special, very particular, very delicious, very crispy, very cured. Go to anywhere else on the planet, you're not going to get it. It's just a gross copy, American style bacon, but you ain't going to hit it like we do in America. That's our thing. Bacon is our thing. And there's a reason why there's a stereotype of Americans eating bacon all the time. Number one, because we do. Number two, because it is amazing. It's delicious. But again, they're not going to have that in other countries because the chemicals that go into it, the curing process, are against whatever regulations those countries have. It's very difficult to get American items in a lot of countries. And that's why we say, we're a big exporter, but we're really not. Not when it comes to consumables, we're not, because our food is poison and the rest of the world knows that our food is poison. Is it delicious? Yes. Is it delectable? Yes. But will it kill you? Absolutely, without a doubt, it'll kill you. If the food and if the cholesterol, if the salt, if the sugar doesn't kill you, if it doesn't make your heart explode, then surely at some point the chemicals that are slowly eating away at your DNA, making the next generations weaker and weaker to the point where they can't even handle bread or peanuts, yeah, there's something wrong with the food. So for God's sakes, stop eating this stuff, start making your own food. Learn to cook if you can. Get rid of DoorDash. Get rid of Uber Eats and just learn to cook. Buy a cookbook. I had cookbooks since I was a kid. Call your grandma. She probably has a cookbook. She probably has recipes that she's been working on since before you were born. Delicious stuff that you probably only get around the holidays. And you can learn to make that. It doesn't just have to be grandma's food. Learn how to cook and learn what goes into what you're eating. And I promise you, the food that you're making is going to be healthier. You're going to feel better. This baby's here in a few weeks, and I can't wait. We're both going on a diet. She can't wait to go on a diet. Even though I love her, even though I think she's the most beautiful woman on the planet, I worship her, I simp for her. Yeah. We both want to go on a diet. We both been getting fat. It's just the way that it is. It's the truth. We can't go outside and eat something without gaining a pound here. I mean, everything's loaded with butter, loaded with sugar, loaded with fats. And while delicious as it is, yes, why are you always feeling sick? The food here just, it drives me nuts, because in America, we know, everyone's talking about we got to be on a diet. We got to go keto. We got to go carnivore. We got to go on some kind of caveman diet, the Mediterranean diet. Please go on the Mediterranean diet if you can. It is the way to live. Learn to love olives, right? Get flatbread, get lavash, get pita. Have more fruits, lots more citrus. These things, they make your life beam. They make you glow. They make you happy. You can eat a pound of strawberries and you're not going to feel sick. You'll feel great the next day, and your bowel movements will be incredible. Because the mainstays of your diet shouldn't be McDonald's, shouldn't be Popeyes, shouldn't be KFC, shouldn't be Taco Bell or Del Taco, Whataburger, In-N-Out. They shouldn't be any of those things. While they are delicious and okay to have once a month or something like that, there's a reason why if you go get a Big Mac and some fries and a Coke from McDonald's, you're going to feel like absolute trash for the next 4 hours. You shouldn't eat a meal and be like, I need to lay down. Like, that's not what you should do. You should be able to eat and be like, I feel good now. I have energy to go do something. Maybe I'll mow the lawn. Maybe I'll go argue with the neighbor. Something productive. But yeah, just a short rant about the food, because getting fat over here. Since we've been back in the States, we're getting fat. Living that fat life in America, living that American life. And it's time to make a change. Spring is upon us. Cutting season is here. And I know I've got to drop about 20 pounds because I am way above my fighting weight. And I invite you guys to join me. This is not going to turn into a fitness channel, trust me. I will never do that to you guys. And I do not have the time to work out. I just sit in my basement and do boxing workouts because that's what I know. But thank you guys for stopping by. We got more stuff coming. The anger is in the truck, and I have things to say. Have a good one.